Hello, everybody. I'm giving it a minute just so everybody can get caught up in case there is an ad. So, hi. How is everybody? I think it's probably working by now, but we'll find out. Let's see. Okay. You know what? I think time enough has gone by. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming, hanging out with me on a Saturday morning for me. I'm not sure if it's morning for everyone, but it is for me. And today I want to talk about pride recommendations. Why not? Also, just so because I wore it, I did wear my pride shirt. I realized no one would know. I put it on and then I was like, no one can see my shirt. Why? Why? But here we are. So it is Pride Month. And I wanted to give a bunch of recommendations. And I figured, hey, let's do it live. Why not? And so I got a whole bunch of good stuff. And I like doing these Pride recommendation videos because I do one every year. And I always give fresh recommendations. I never repeat one because I think you should read diversely all year round. So these are all like Pride picks I have read just since since last Pride. These are all the ones I've read since then. Well, not all of them. These are all the ones I recommend because I don't recommend all of them. So, holy moly. Well, it's definitely morning for you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I know, I haven't had coffee yet. And I was like, well, that's how this is going to be. Hi. Hello. John. Hello. Okay. Hi, everybody. Like I said, no coffee is in my body. It probably should be in my body, but instead I'm having LaCroix in a koozie, in a Star Wars koozie. I didn't put it in the koozie. I think my boyfriend did when I wasn't looking. I just had a can. But anyway, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I know it's a little earlier than normal. Usually I do like a 12 o'clock show, but I have things going on today. Essentially, we had a TV that died, so we're like, okay, let's buy a new TV, and so we did, and now it's getting delivered today. And it's getting delivered because I went a full size queen with this. Like I bought like a 70-inch TV because why not? I want it. I'm a size queen for TVs. So that's getting delivered. Hold on. I need to find my charger cord because I know I have it near me, but like I don't have it near me. This is what happens when I go early. I like lose all sense of working. No. You know what? I'm going to cross that bridge when we get there because I don't know what happened to my charger. It's around somewhere. Well, actually, no, I could use this one. Hold on. Okay, this will work. Sorry, I forgot I had two chargers. I have the new MacBook Pro, and it has like the new charger cord, but like it still has ports for the old charger cords, which is like my old MacBook Pro. So hi. Anyway, okay. I've been rambling. It's been a weird morning, and I slept on my hair funny, and I can't tell if I like it or not. So here we are. Anyway, let's talk about Pride recommendations. All right. I'm going to get it together. Hello. Thank you for coming. So, Pride Recs, again, I was mentioning this earlier. These are all books I have read in the past year. So, since last Pride to now, new books. I don't like repeating. There's plenty of them. There's no need to repeat. So, I'm going to start off with like more recent reads. And then I kind of broke them down into like different categories a little bit. Like, I think it's fairly easy to find a lot of like LGBTQIA plus books in romance because, it is a sexuality, it's a who you love situation. So it's very common in romance, but it's harder to find them in other genres, I would say. So I have a whole bunch of different stuff here. Very excited to go for it. So let's start things off with more recent reads. I've got number 1, Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. As you can tell, I am still reading this. I also got it from the library. But I have about 100 pages left of it, and so far so good. I'm having a good time with it. You will get a full review later on. in life after I finish it for my mid-month review probably, but hey, here it is. Boyfriend material. So this one is fake dating. It's in England. Opposites attract, kind of like a Grump Sunshine. I don't know. Okay, so it says Oliver and Luke, and like I'm not 100% sure if like Oliver is like on the spectrum or not. I don't know. The way he's written, it's almost like he doesn't quite get all of social interactions. So I don't know. They don't like go into that at all, but it kind of feels like that. And then you have Luke, who's like tangentially famous. Like his father was like a rock star. Well, his mom and dad were rock stars like back in like the 70s. And now he's here. But like he hasn't really done anything to make himself famous. He just has famous parents, and it's England and the tabloids are crazy. So, you know, he's also doing that, and he's kind of like a disaster, and they need to have like a fake relationship for both of their careers, etc., which I know is bullshit, but this is England, so I don't know how bullshitty it is over there. We'll have to find out. But and it's them kind of, you know, talking about their feelings and like falling in love for real. And Luke has the messiest apartment known to man, and Oliver does not like that. He's like, oh my god, this is disgusting. So like Luke cleans up his apartment, and Oliver comes over and he's like, you cleaned? And then you get the big romantic like kissing moments, and you're like, damn, all you had to do was clean your apartment. So love that. I'm having a good time with it. It's not particularly steamy, I would say. Like they have had sex one time. I finished the chapter where they did it finally, like 75% of the way through the book, and it was a little fade to black. So if you're expecting spicy, it's pretty mild. I'm just gonna say it, but it is cute. It's a moody book about feelings, and I am enjoying a lot of like the banter and the dialogue. I think it's fun, so I recommend. I think it's a cute book so far. I still have 100 pages left. Who knows? Hi, Maggie. Thanks for coming. Woo. All right. Let's keep going with like recent reads, because I have a whole bunch of Pride picks this month, so I've been reading them. And I also have Going Public by Hudson Lynn. Now, this one, like, I don't say I love it, but I enjoyed a lot of aspects of it. I'll say that. So this one is, you know, it's a queer romance. It's like kind of corporate espionage a little bit. There's some shady business practices going on here. Demisexual representation. So there's also that going on. And it's basically like a Grump Sunshine cinnamon roll romance. But like, I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. Where are their names again? I forget everybody's names the second I stop it. Okay, so Raymond and Elvin. So this is Raymond and this is Elvin. Elvin is like the softest little cinnamon roll of a human who has ever existed. And if anyone hurt him, I would burn the world down. Like that's his character. Is like, and then you have Raymond, who's kind of has villain energy. So I'm like, that's the relationship between them a little bit. Like, you were such a cinnamon roll, Elvin, that if someone hurts you, Raymond will burn their existence to the ground. Like, that's kind of like the vibe I get, and I love that. So, demisexual representation, corporate espionage a little bit, you know, villain and like cinnamon roll love interest kind of thing going on here. I enjoyed it. It is a moody book about feelings again. There's a lot of talk of feelings moving forward, talking about things. I think some things could have been gone into more, but I did enjoy it. I think it was fun for what it was. And I do recommend. I think it's a good short read. Like, honestly, I don't know. It's like a little over 300 pages. Let's see. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, there's actually a part of another book in this. Okay, yes, it's 347 pages. You could probably read it in like a day or two. But yeah, it's like a cute little book. I had a good time with it overall. It was pretty fun. The only thing I missed in this, like I really wanted someone to do that to a desk. And then, you know, they do it on the desk. Like that's what I wanted more than anything. And it didn't happen. So just, sorry, spoiler. That's what I wanted to get. And it didn't happen. So that was unfortunate. But oh well. We can't win them all. Hello, Maggie. More hellos. I haven't read the first book. Okay, so Going Public is a book 2 of this series, and I have not read book 1, but I don't know. I don't know who it's about. Oh yeah, something else about this book, actually, I forgot to mention. I did tab one thing because I was like, this is a boss and assistant. Like, how is the power dynamic going to be handled? And then they directly handled it, and they're like, this is a power imbalance. I don't want you to feel like you have to do things. So like, they talk about it right away. It's handled very well. And that's what was making me the most nervous about it. I'm like, what if this is handled poorly? But it was actually handled very well. They both talked about it. And he's like, you're not forcing me to do anything. Like, I'm having a good time. I want to do this. So like, they talk, there's lots of consent, good times. So that was handled quite well. Yay. Hello. Okay. Nice. Okay. I am reading another Alexis Hall book this month, which is A Lady for a Duke, which is a trans heroine, and I was very excited about that. It's a historical romance with a trans heroine, and I was like, oh, gasp! I'm so obsessed with that. I want to see how it works, considering like the love interests used to be friends, and he thinks his friend died, but his friend didn't die. His friend became the woman that she was. And now they're back in each other's lives. And I was like, ooh, I love it. It's a friends to lovers romance with like a twist. I'm very excited to read that one. So I am doing an Alexis Hall double feature this month, but I'm not unhappy about it. I have not read that one. You'll have to like let me know more about it in the comments. I know, right? Why? You went this whole book and you didn't give me someone going to a desk. It is spicier though. There is some spicy bits. There's no fade to black in it. So there is that. If you know my other spicy people out there. So if you're looking for that, there is some in there, but like no desk. I was like, damn it. That's a wasted opportunity. Yes. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I am reading it, I think shortly. Probably I'm going to start it next week, I believe. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's going to be soon. It'll probably be for my mid-June wrap up. It'll probably be in there. Okay. Let's see. There you go. Yeah. So that's one of them. I have a couple more books with trans representation in them. So we'll get to those a little later. Yay! Okay. Well, like also I have been reading boyfriend material, and again, feel like this is more literary than it is like spicy romance, because there is like they just did it at 75% of the way through the book, which is like a little long, and it's fade to black. So I was like, so yeah, I had grumbles, but like just because I'm a pervert, it's not because the book's fault. So yeah, I am expecting less spice in it, but I'm hoping for a mild spice level at least. Okay. More recent reads. I have Payback's a Witch. Let's do it on the other side. More dynamic here. Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. This one I just read last month. It is an FF romance, and it's witchy, and there's like low-key John Tucker Must Die vibes. Basically, the town fuckboy has like banged these three women. They're all friends. Uh-oh, let's gang up on him. So we have I think it's Emmy, and who is Talia? Okay, so Emmy and Talia, right? Talia is like such a panty dropper though, because like I don't know, but I was just like, oh my god, Talia's hot. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Talia's like a smoke show. And Emmy's just like, wait, you like me? Okay. Like, it's very cute, and it's witchy, and they're taking down the fuck boy of the town, which I'm into. I love a little bit of revenge. Also, it's like a emotional growth story, like, hey, let's like learn from our past and make better choices type of thing. Cool necromancy powers. There's a big magic battle in it, so it's got like a lot of fun stuff going on here. And I believe if it's not out yet, I think it's out soon. I think it's out already, the second book of this series, but I am interested in that one as well, because that one's going to be like enemies to lovers, Grump Sunshine to the max, and I'm like way into that. So I would want to read another book in this series, because I did have good time with Payback's a Witch. I thought it was really fun. Another one. There we go. Everything's backwards on my screen, so I'm trying to figure out where things go. Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I read this one last month as well. This one, like you would think it might be more literary with the title and everything, but like, no, it gets spicy in it. Again, Delilah Green, panty dropper. She's just hot. And who's her love interest again? Claire. Yes. So it's Delilah Green and Claire. And Delilah kind of grew up in a family where she didn't really feel wanted for reasons, and she kind of left the second she could. Mind you, in their childhood, Claire and Delilah knew each other. Claire was Delilah's like stepsister's friend. Delilah's back in town, right? Because her sister's getting married. She has to photograph the wedding. She's actually like a really good photographer. And she runs into Claire again. But Claire, all grown up, bisexual, kind of like sparks there. And then they spend a lot of time like kind of trying to not have sparks, but then there's a lot of sparks. And I was like, I was into it. So I love that. I love seeing them get together. Claire also like her whole like mystique, her whole like vibe is full naughty librarian. She dresses in like kind of these like vintagey outfits that are like curvy. And I was like, she is fully giving that aesthetic. And I'm like, from one naughty librarian to another, like I have to be into it. Both of these ladies are just too hot for words. So if you want to see two hot women, just do it. This is the book for you. But it also has a lot of emotional growth in it. It has a lot of like finding yourself and like realizing that the way you remember things might not exactly be accurate. You might be seeing them through your own filter and maybe, hey, stop doing that. Stop being an asshole. So there's also a lot of like family drama, growing up, finding yourself again, and I'm into that. So it was a really good ride. I think it was a fun time. Also spicy. So I had a great time with this one. I do recommend. Let's see. Yay! I really want to read it so bad, but is there an audiobook yet? Last time I checked there wasn't, and like I need audiobooks. I just do. I have very little time to sit down and just read something without doing other things. Like I have very little time to do that. So if it doesn't have an audiobook, I usually don't get the chance to read it. Yes. Well, I hate the term revenge porn, but like I get what you mean. Yeah, it's just like, let's stick it to the man, the fuck boy of the town. So I did love that coming together of girl power. That was fun. Yay! Me too. I am so into that. I haven't played any D&D in quite some time, but like I want to. So like I don't know, I feel like it would give me that energy. Plus I've always wanted to play a tiefling in D&D and I've never played one yet. And I want to. I want to so bad. They're kind of like they're like demony and I'm like I want to be a tiefling. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with pride. Hmm. Yay. Yes, right? Same. I'm like, Delilah could get it. I'm just gonna say. Okay. And her lovely, yeah. It's like it's exactly the two people you want to see together. It's just like, yes, please. Why aren't you together always? It's like they're like perfect for each other. I love that. And it's also it might be a little hypey, honestly. I'm not sure. But I did have a little bit of a wait time for the audiobook from my library, but like I very much enjoyed it. I think it's a good one. Mhm. Long as you have a literary type, that's all good. You know, tattooed and grumpy, always fun. Shut up. Why isn't there an audiobook already? They could just do it themselves. Oh my goodness. I want it so bad. Yay. Oh wait, I clicked it off, sorry. I'm playing old lady lesbian cleric Firbolg. You have to. I'm trying. I'm sorry. I know I didn't pronounce that right. Really into reading romance and recreational drugs. I wish to be as cool as your character when I am older. gosh, I want the audiobook so bad. That'd be so good. I am a kind of a promiscuous half elf in the campaign I played most recently. And I didn't plan to necessarily be promiscuous, but like every time I rolled for initiative, it just ended up happening that way. So, I was doing the best I could. But I was having fun with it. But yeah, I want to be a tiefling really bad. I being a half elf is cool and all. They kind of have chips on their shoulder. I'm a rogue. I'm a half elf rogue. But like, I want to be a tiefling. I want it so bad. Anyway, moving on from D&D back to Pride. Let's go with another recent read. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. So I read this like in May. I realized I had books on my TBR that I hadn't already read, but I didn't care, and I read this one anyway. And I very much enjoyed it. The full review will be up on Wednesday. I believe that's when I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I'm going to film my end of May wrap up after this. I didn't get to filming it this week. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a busy week. But I read I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. Very fun. I feel like it just fit me in particular very well. Like maybe I'm a niche audience, but it is an FF romance. Kind of. I think the main point of it isn't necessarily romance, but we'll get into that. And it's definitely got like Paper Towns by John Green vibes, essentially. What's her name again? Chloe. Yes. Our main character, Chloe, right? She moved to this small southern town in Alabama, and she goes to like a private Christian school. She's queer at a private Christian school. Like it's a problem a little bit, but like she's surviving. And Shara Wheeler is kind of like her nemesis because she's like the church golden child, also competing for valedictorian, etc. One day, Shara Wheeler just kisses the heck out of Chloe Green and then disappears. And she kisses two other people as well and then disappears. And then she leaves clues they have to find in order to find her. And it's like a fun, like, there's like capers and trying to put clues together. There's a little bit of a mystery. And for me in particular, there's someone that went to a small Christian school as well. Like it hit a lot of boxes for me. Like I'm like, I feel seen. Mind you, I also got expelled from said Christian school. Like, have you met me? Is that a surprise? Probably not. So like I have a lot of kinship, I feel, with Chloe in this. I also was in the running for valedictorian and like got kicked out. So I feel very seen by it in a lot of ways. So like for me, it hit a lot of boxes. I don't know if it's going to hit for everybody, but I enjoyed it. It's got a lot of capers and, finding your found family, all that kind of jazz. And I thought it was really fun and cute. It definitely has a lot of Paper Towns by John Green energy, a lot. So if you really like that one, I think this one is a natural way to go after that. Has a lot of like the coming of age vibes, the mystery vibes, all that kind of stuff. But overall, I think Shara Wheeler is a much more likable heroine or mystery girl than the one from Paper Towns, which I can't remember her name right now. Because, oh boy, she was a mess. And Shara's a mess, but like a likable mess, I'd say. So yes, I had a good time with this one. I do recommend it. I think it's really fun. It is YA, but it's very funny. It's got all the Casey McQuiston charm you could want. So good times. Same, like it takes a lot for me to get into a YA contemporary as well, because I'm a grown-ass adult. But this one, like, again, I mean, it checked off a lot of boxes that were very specific for me. But overall, I did feel like it has all of like the fun Casey McQuiston like humor and like pacing. It feels like a Casey McQuiston book that just happens to have younger characters in it, if that makes any sense. So I feel like if you like Casey McQuiston, you would also like this. I wouldn't be too put off that it's YA, but just be aware the characters are younger. But I think it's really fun. Yep. You want the rest of the story? So it was the fourth day of school, my senior year. I think that's a record, everybody. Getting expelled on the 4th day of school, like, I hadn't even been all my classes yet. Anyway, there you go. Mm. I mean, I didn't get kicked out for queer stuff, but, like, they weren't I just didn't get caught for it, essentially. But, anyway, that was a long time ago. Hmm, okay. Speaking of which, I have another book by Casey McQuiston on here. One Last Stop, the other book. So Red, White, and Royal Blue, everyone loved. And yes, I did see the casting for the movie. I think the guy playing Henry is perfect. Love it. The guy playing Alex, I was like, that's close to what I pictured. So I'm like, I'll see how they work together. But like Henry, oh my gosh, that's perfect. That was a perfect casting. Love it. And Uma Thurman's the president. I was like, oh, yes. So like beautiful casting on that. But anyway, Case McQuiston. Everyone really, really, really loved Red, White, and Royal Blue. And then there was some controversy with One Last Stop, like on TikTok, but not because of the book. It's just because like, there was a lot of people saying they didn't like it because it was an FF romance and they're not attracted to women. So they want male romances, which is like fetishizing gay people. Not cool. And there was like a whole like backlash on Twitter with people like posting things like that. Personally, I'm good. Like, I like anybody in a romance with each other. I just want people to fall in love, regardless of what genitalia they have. It doesn't matter. So I like seeing any type of romance, as long as it's well written. I'm into it. So this one I went into just expecting more Casey McQuiston, like humor, banter, like lovable weirdos, which I think is like Casey McQuiston's vibe. Lovable weirdos. That's exactly it. Um, and I went into this one expecting that, and it gave me that. And this one's a little different because it also has like a metaphysical like backstory as well. There is like a girl on a train named Jane, mind you, Jane, panty dropper. Another panty dropper character. And they have August, right? Yeah, August. And Jane has been on the train since the 70s. She's not old. Like something happened and like electricity somehow. And now she's like stuck on the train forever, but like she can't leave the train because she's made of electricity somehow. I don't really know how the metaphysical aspects of this work, but that's the point. They're not supposed to really make sense. That's not the point of the story. But I really enjoyed it quite a bit. It has all like the lovable weirdos. It's very much like a love letter to New York, I would say, though. There's a lot of New York in this. There's like, Annie Depressant, the drag queen, is a character in this. Lovable, like big group of queer characters just like living their best lives. And I was like way into it. Has all like the funny banter, the sarcasm, all that kind of stuff I think I want from a Case McQuiston. And this one just is an FF romance. And again, Jane can get it. Like Jane is hot. And it's really, really fun. I kind of enjoyed it quite a bit. And so again, I went to Shara Wheeler because I just like Casey McQuiston. She was 2 for 2 for me. So I was like, I went over there and I'm like, I don't mind that it's YA. I had a good time with it. Same. Like I used to be all YA all the time, but I am an adult now. I'm a full ass adult and I'm finding it harder to relate to it in general. But like there are some books where they just feel timeless anyway. So like I don't know. It's hit or miss. Like sometimes I'm like into it and sometimes I'm like, eh. Oh, about getting kicked out of high school. It's stupid. Some kid narked on me and I got expelled for something I did over summer, which is stupid. It's stupid. Anyways, a long time ago. Like I said, I'm a full ass adult. I was like 17, 4th day of school. It is what it is. Yes, Jane can get it. Jane is hot. She's like kind of punk rock from the 70s and also like cool. Like people you meet and you're like, oh my gosh, you're way cooler than me. And you're not even trying. That's fucking Jane. Love her. Okay, here you go. Like, I might be the opposite because it's a little time travel-y, and I hate time travel. It is my least favorite trope. Like, I hate it. I hate it so much. I only like it in Back to the Future because they made it silly. They're like, "This is stupid." And if you're trying to just make it stupid, I'm like, "Fine, let's make fun of this together," and I'm in on the joke. Again, like, one last stop, I feel like they're like, "This is stupid, like, let's make fun of it." Like, it's not supposed to be, like, really highly scientific, it's supposed to be silly. So I was like, that's why I kinda got into it, but if you want something very scientific and, like, realistic, maybe not the vibe of that book, but that's why I liked it, because 'cause I'm like, "Don't try to make time travel work, it's not working." So for me, I liked it quite a bit. Yay! I know, but, there's no accounting for taste, but, like, some it's just, like, the fetishizing of that. It was like, "Ew." Like, I get it, like, I also like men. Seeing 2 men together is great, but, like, I like to see 2 people together or more. I don't know. I'm very laissez-faire in the whole sexuality business. Whoever wants to do it, as long as everyone says yes, go, and I'll read it. So, I'm just like, an equal opportunity perv. Let's see, where were we? Okay, we were just there. Hi, thank you for coming. Okay. Wait, in One Last Stop? Maybe I'm confused. I don't remember what comment this was to. Magical realism Raven Boys vibes. Because that one is so weird. Like, there's talking trees in it. There's a lot of weird stuff in that one. I love it though. Yay, thank you. For real. Like, Jane can get it. Janice is hot. Yes. Okay. Wait. I think I know that one. Is it Charlie Jane Anders is the person who wrote it? Or is it How to Lose the Time War? Or Win the Time War? I forget. There's birds on both of those covers. Hello, thank you for coming. I went early today, so probably you're not late. I'm early, so it's not on you. I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video, I had to go early today because I have things happening. Our TV died, so we bought a new one, and I was like, I'm gonna be a size queen, and I bought a 70-inch TV. It was the Memorial Day sale, and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and I bought the 70-inch, so it's getting delivered today, sometime between 9 and 1. So I'm like, I should probably go early. So, like, I don't have a big delivery happening in the background of a live show. So here we are. But yeah, I'm a full size queen for TVs. I was no regrets. Very happy about it. Okay, yeah, it's How to Win or How to Lose the Time War. I don't remember what's happening in the Time War, but I haven't read it yet. Oh, TL is it TL or TJ Klune? I know it's Klune. I haven't read anything by them though. Right? I'm obsessed. Like, I wanted the 75, but I'm happy I didn't get it because I'm like, the 75, I think it just wouldn't fit on the wall. So I'm like, 70 was the way to go. So I'm feeling very good about it. Full size queen. I know it was like J or L. It's like the same letter, but backwards. It's one of the two. I don't remember which way the bottom went on that one. Okay, so continuing with Pride picks. These are ones I've also read, but not recently, but I also think they're great romances. Again, I didn't read this recently. I'm back into the older ones I've read. But hey, if you're someone who loves Christmas books and you want to be like, hey, I don't want my normal Christmas book. I want to get something, a little LGBTQIA plus. Well, I got the book for you. It is The Lights in Knockbridge Lane by Roan Parrish. This is a MM romance, holiday romance, twinkle lights everywhere. So if you like those like the Harlequin romances for the holidays, it's a very particular click. Like some people love these. And like all of the cheesy Christmas movies, if you're one of those, this one is going to give you all of those vibes. It's like a single dad, great relationship with his daughter. He moves to a small town. He meets the neighbor who's like a hermit and like a scientist. He has a hermit scientist neighbor, also gay, and then like sparks fly between them because a little girl keeps breaking into his house because he has cool stuff. So they kind of get together, and it's really fun. It's cute, and there's a whole like backstory where the little girl, she just wants to have the most Christmas lights ever. So the dad goes on social media and is just like, my kid wants Christmas lights. You want to send me Christmas lights? And then like everybody sends him Christmas lights, and his house is just like, like covered in Christmas lights. It's kind of one of those like local news stories and stuff. So it's really Christmassy, and it's like a cute romance, and there's a cute kid, science stuff. I don't think the science is the main part of the story, but there is science going on. So I think it's a fun little Christmas book. Again, it's super, super thin. Like you could read this all in a day. Yeah, it's under 300 pages. You could read this in a day easily. And it's like a good little, let's have a glass of something like warm and boozy and like have some me time. This is the book for you. It's really cute. I enjoyed it. Let's see. There you go. Me too. I'm jealous of myself. It's not here yet. So that's why I'm jealous of myself. I want it. I want it so bad. Anyway, more Pride picks. This one I read kind of in the beginning of the year, and it's had like, I think, hit or miss reviews, but for me, it was a hit, and I very much enjoyed it. And that is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. Very much enjoyed this. Again, like this is a book that's catnip for me. A lot of these are just like books that have like so many buzzwords in it that I'm like obsessed with it. And this one, no exception here. It's like there's these two people. Oh gosh, London is one of them, and Dahlia. Okay, so Dahlia and London are both on this reality cooking competition show. And like I love cooking competition shows. I love them so much. Like I like to watch people cooking things while I'm eating. It's the best dinner like show. Anyway, I love those. So seeing that like as the background, I'm already in. And Dahlia is she's a woman. She's overcoming a divorce. She's trying to get her life back on track. And then you have London, who is non-binary, going on national television and being very outwardly non-binary. And that has its own bucket of worms that come with it, because as much as we would love for people to be good and not like have that be a big deal, it's a big deal for multiple reasons, good and bad. So London is now like kind of like really thrust into the spotlight as a non-binary person. So throughout the course of the show, they kind of become friends, and then like maybe spicy friends, and I'm like way into that. This book is way spicier than you think it's going to be from the cover, and I'm like, oh, London can get it. It's very spicy at times, and it's also a little bit of a moody book about feelings. And they don't pull anything to black. It's like the full scenes, so like it's definitely spicy. I love them getting together. It's very much a friends kind of to lovers situation on a reality cooking show. And they also have to work out like some of their like traumas, and like, you know, like Dahlia just got divorced. So she's like, I need to like get my life on track. There is like tension there. There are things they have to overcome to be together. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. Loved it. I thought it was fun. And like there's a lot of like funny banter in here, and it was again made of catnip for me because I love reality cooking shows. So if you're like me and you want to see a cool romance between Dahlia, who identifies as female, and then London, who identifies as non-binary, if you want to see that relationship grow, it's wonderful. I had such a good time with it. I liked it quite a bit. Have you read Reputation? I don't know what Reputation is. You'll have to like who's the author? I don't think I've read it. I don't think I've read a book called Reputation. I don't know why I'm trying to like get more info. But I haven't, but please tell me more about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a lot of talk about Dahlia's hair. Like London was really into Dahlia's hair. And I'm like, you know, cool. It didn't bother me, I would say. But there is a lot of talk about her hair being like crazy and pretty. Some people are hair people, I guess. I don't know. Yay. It's really cute. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know some people were, like, iffy about it, but, like, I had a great time. I it was, like, made of, like, catnip for me. It also takes place in I'm assuming Burbank, California. I think they say Burbank at one point, but that's where they film a lot of those kind of shows. And, like, Burbank isn't far from me, so, like, they go to real places in Burbank in this. I'm like, "I know where that is." So it's, like, kind of, it's also, like, a hometown thing where I'm almost like, "Oh, no, like, I know that thing." Like, there's a lot of actual locations in the book that are real locations. So look up the names and you'll be like, "Oh, shit, this is a real place." If you're ever in LA, you can go look at them, which is kind of fun. Okay. So those are all like the official romances I picked out. And now I have a few other books that aren't necessarily romances. They may have some romance in it, but they're not romances, I would say. They're different genres. And excited for those. Hold on. Mm. All right. Ready to keep talking. So let's see. I'll do this one first because it has like it's the most romance adjacent. It's gonna be my bridge to the next ones. Let's see. Okay, A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. Again, this is another one that's like a little hit or miss in the reviews I've seen, but like I love it intensely. It's so fun. Well, I'm not gonna say fun. For me, it's fun, but it's like dark and moody and like morally gray characters and like just oh my gosh, like no one's a good person. They're all villains. It's just a bunch of villains falling in love, and I'm like, yes, give me that. So, I mean, technically, it is a romance, but a very unhealthy one. So, technically, it's an FF romance. So there's Felicity and Alice. Felicity's our main character. She has some trauma. She basically she goes to this weird all girls like boarding school situation thing. And it's like in like New England in the United States. And there's like all the witch trials happen in the area. So there's like a history of like girls being convicted of witchcraft from the school. So like they all kind of get into practicing like black magic. And her Felicity's girlfriend died the year before, and Felicity had a nervous breakdown. Now Felicity's back at school, and she meets Alice, who's like kind of a wunderkind. She's like Christopher Paolini, basically. She wrote like a really amazing book when she was like 15. She's like Aragon, so that's her. And they kind of get in a relationship, and Alice seems normal at first, but I will tell you now, she is not normal. She is evil. Just like the evil things that go on in this relationship, it's so fucked up that I love it. It's very dark, this book. Morally gray. There's just a lot of like fucked up stuff happening here. So if you want like villains, you want to see a book that's kind of ambiguous with things, like is it actual witchcraft or is she just having a nervous breakdown? It could go either way at times, you know? So if you want something like that, this is the book for you. Personally, I love Victoria Lee's writing. I've read the other series by them, and that was The Fever King and The Electric Air. It's a duology. Fan-effing-tastic. Loved it intensely. So whatever Victoria Lee writes, I'm going to get. Like this is an auto buy for me, and I loved it. I think yeah, I read this last year. It was definitely on my top books of the year list. I was obsessed with it. It's so freaking good. Love this intensely. Please read it. It's so good. I know it got some like mixed reviews, but I'm like, I think they were expecting something different than what they actually got. And I really like it in general. Let's see. Regency era romance that has an FF element to it, but the main character, but the main romance between an uptight man and a rebellious woman. Okay, I have not read that, but it sounds great. I love a Grump Sunshine kind of thing. Well, I'm using Grump Sunshine broadly, like it's the umbrella term for like Grump and antagonist to Grump, so to speak. So that could be Sunshine or rebellious, what have you. So love that kind of thing. Okay. Here's the thing, like, I'm hit or miss with dark academia as well. Like there's some like I didn't like Atlas 6. I didn't. It's very pretentious. Like, have you read it? It's pretentious AF. But there's some dark academia that I get into, and this one it's dark academia, but it's not necessarily about the academia part of it. Necessarily, it's not like a student's trying to learn something. It's more like they're playing with witchcraft allegedly. It's not more like they're not really trying to learn things. They're just fucking around. So I don't know. I like it. So if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I liked it quite a bit. Mm, yes. I mean, it's you don't want them together. I'll tell you that. They should not be together. It's not a relationship you want. It's horrible. And not like a dark romance where you're like, wow, this is horrible. It's like, no, these people should not be together because like someone's gonna get murdered. Like it's like I think it surpasses dark romance where you're just like, I don't want like this is a bad situation, but I'm like, I want them to be together. This is like, oh no, you don't want them to be together. This is horrible. So yeah, vibes, definitely. I really, really liked it. Mind you, it was like several years ago when I read it. I think it was 2019, I think, but I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. It's a little sci-fi kind of thing, dystopian. Really love it. Yes, love Ninth House intensely. Hated Atlas 6. Like, it had its moments, and frankly, I just rewrote a lot of it in my brain as it was going to make it better. So the version in my brain is fun, but like the version in the actual book, I did not enjoy. So, does anyone else do that? Where you're reading something and you don't like it, but you're just rewriting it in your brain as it goes? Because you're like, oh, that would have been way better. And you just think that, and then you forget what the actual book was because you just wrote your own book in your head. I do that often enough that it's like a problem. Okay. Well, thank you for coming, John. It was like 3 a.m. for you, so no problem at all. Please go to sleep. Thank you for coming at all. That was really sweet of you. Moving on, more Pride Recs. I have 3 more, so we're almost to the end of the list. I have boom, Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. Now, this one is really weird. I'm just gonna say it. There's no other way to describe it but weird. It's weird. There was a book that not book, a movie that came out recently, like Everything Everywhere All at Once or something. And it's like that a little bit. It's weird. But trans main character and there's also aliens in a donut shop. Like I could try to explain this, but it's so weird. It's okay. Okay. There's our main character, a young trans woman, and has been experiencing a lot of the difficulties that trans youth experience, like homelessness, um, having to do sex work, not necessarily wanting to do sex work, but having to do sex work in order to, survive, and all kinds of stuff that are associated with that. They are very dark subject material that, it's hard to read. So just go in knowing that, like maybe check trigger warnings if you need them. But overall, this character's story is one of hope. So like I keep going with it. There's a lot of darkness in the beginning, but she's always very hopeful. And the thing about her is that she is like a beautiful violinist, like incredible. And then you have our other characters in the book. There's an older woman. She's a violin teacher, but also in an infernal pact with the devil. And essentially, she has to give up souls of her students to the demon in order to like get her music back. It's like a weird situation. There's demons and aliens in this at the same time. So, that's how they meet each other. And it ends up being like actually a really kind of beautiful relationship with each other. And then there's like an alien family that's been stranded on Earth and they open a donut shop. and like the violin teacher and then like the donut lady kind of have a thing. So there's demons and aliens and cursed violins, and there's just a lot going on here. But it's really, really cool if you just want to have something that's weird. It's weird in the best way. A lot of the character like dynamics in this are really interesting, and it was good. I think ultimately it is a story about hope, and I very much enjoyed it, and I got to meet the author too, and it's silly. It's silly in the best way. Like it's not trying to have like it be realistic. It's just bonkers, and like that's kind of why I want to read it. I have not read Catherine House. I think is that the I think I can picture the cover, but I haven't read it. It didn't vibe with me. Catherine House? Which one? Atlas 6? I don't know which. Oh, yeah. You were talking about Atlas 6. Yeah. Potential. I like the idea, but it didn't work out. Oh, Light from Uncommon Stars? It's weird in a fun way. Hmm. I like the term hope punk. I would give it a hope punk term. I haven't heard that before, but I think that's the good term for it. A little bit of that. I it's like kind of an oddball group of characters coming together in the end. So yeah, that works. But yeah, I think it's definitely more it's so weird. Demons, aliens, donuts, cursed violins. There's a lot going on. But it is really fun and I had a good time with it. Yay. I mean, it's very, very queer, and it's very, very weird. And definitely sci-fi, but there's also, like, fantasy elements because there's demons. It's everything everywhere all at once. And that's why I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun time to read. Okay, 2 more books, everybody. Okay, so I have The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. This one is historical fantasy. It's kind of set in a world, like a post-colonialism world, I would say, where these people have been conquered by an outside force. And the outside force is very much still there colonizing them. And there's these kids who have been brought up only in this civilization to be soldiers for the colonizers, and eventually I forget whose names are these, Terrain and Luca. Yeah, so Terrain, a child soldier grown up in this society where now she's like very loyal to the people who conquered her people because she was a literal child and brought up by them. And Luca is kind of like the princess of this group, and they kind of have like a romance thing going on here that's fucked up. Like the book does a good job of showing that it's a very fucked up relationship, and the power imbalance here is a factor because she literally owns her. Luca kind of owns Terrain. So it's definitely a lot of a power imbalance. I don't think Terrain is being forced into anything, but even if Terrain didn't want to do it, she really couldn't say no. So it's like there's a lot of like deep, dark dynamics going on here. And sorry, my dog was walking around. I was like, what's happening? But it's deep and it's dark and there's magic in it. It's a fantasy world. It has a lot of cool things going on. And I remember I read this for book club and I very much enjoyed it. So I did like a lot of like the deep emotional trauma. Am I a villain? Like there's a lot of like deep, like juicy character development here in a lot of places where this could go. I think there is a second book of this series, but I haven't read it yet. But I do enjoy it. I think it was really cool. And again, if you want like a fantasy, you're like a fantasy person. You want like I want fantasy, I want action, I want like knife battles. Like this is going to be your book. Also, interesting relationships. I thought this was really cool, especially for Terrain because she's kind of a child of two worlds. She was taken as a child and raised by the colonizers. So like that's all she knows, but she's not they're, she's not from there. She's from here. So her people there, she wants to connect with them but can't because she doesn't know them. And also, she can't really connect to the people that she does know because she's not like them. So she's like in this weird place. There's a lot of like juicy character development. So if you're one of those people, you want world building, you want juicy character development, knife fights, fantasy, here you go. This is the book for you. Okay. Yeah, people have been recommending it to me. I think I own it. I think I have a copy of it, but like I don't know when that's going to happen. Like I'm doing Vampire Lestat this month. It's happening this month. That's the plan. We'll see. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. It's not a story, it's an experience. Okay. Very interesting. Like House of Leaves, I guess is I would say that's more of an experience than a story as well. Right mood for it. Catherine House. I haven't read Catherine House, but everyone's talking about it now. Now I'm like, what is this about? Okay, let's Google. Let's Google. Why not? Okay. Okay, so this is the book I was thinking. It has like blue and pink on the cover. Okay, what are you about? Okay. So, Catherine House is a school of higher learning like no other, hidden deep in the woods of rural Pennsylvania. This crucible of reformist liberal arts study with experimental curriculum, widely selective admissions policy, and formidable endowment has produced some of the world's best minds, prize winning authors, artists, inventors, Supreme Court justices, presidents. For those lucky few selected, tuition, room, and board are free. But acceptance comes with a price. Students are required to give the house 3 years, summers included, completely removed from the outside world. Family, friends, television, music, and even their clothing must be left behind. In return, the school promises a future of sublime power and prestige, and that its graduates can become anything or anyone they desire. Among this year's class is Inez Murillo, am I saying it right? Who expects to trade blurry nights of parties, cruel friends, and dangerous men for rigorous intellectual discipline, only to discover an environment of sanctioned revelry. Even the school's enigmatic director, Victoria, encourages students to explore, to expand their minds, to find themselves within the formidable iron gates of the Catherine. For Inez, it's the closest thing she's to a home she's ever had. But the house's strange protocols soon make this refuge with its worn velvet and weathered leather. Oh my gosh, it's so dark academia. Feel increasingly like a gilded prison. When tragedy strikes, Inez begins to suspect that the school, in all its shabby splendor, hollowed history, advanced theories, and controlled decadence, might be hiding a dangerous agenda within the secretive, tightly knit group of students selected to study its most promising and mysterious curriculum. Oh my God. That is like all of the dark academia crammed into one book. Holy moly. Although, like, I will admit, like, the blurb does sound fun. It sounds interesting, very dark academia. Oh my goodness gracious. But like, there's so many adjectives. It sounds so pretentious just from the blurb. Everything has like 8 adjectives for it. It's like, oh my gosh, just because you know a lot of words doesn't mean you need to write them all on the page. So I don't know. It sounds really cool, but it sounds pretentious too. Who knows? That's a problem with a lot of dark academia. It does get pretentious. Okay, that was experience. Well, now we've all heard of Catherine House. It just kept coming up enough. I'm like, let's do it. Let's see what it's about. Okay. Okay. Oh, similar to House of Leaves, but it's written in a straightforward narrative. There's a flavor of sci-fi and horror. Okay, like I do like horror. I don't know. Now I want to read it. God damn it! I have my TBR is too long. I'm sorry. I know I do this to all of you too. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I do love an audiobook. It's a full vibe. And like the velvet and the leathers. It's very textural. Like, oh my goodness. Right? It's a long blurb. Like these are big paragraphs. I was like, oh my word. Okay. Okay. It's one of those like hippie schools, maybe. There's like some of those schools that are like, freeform schools. Like pick your own curriculum. One of those maybe, but like, evil. I don't know. I want to read it. This is what happens every live show. You guys all talk about a book so much in the comments, and then I go read it. Like that's a problem. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, but like now I want to go read Catherine House, even though people are like giving me hit or miss reviews. We'll see. Anyway, okay, last Pride pick, everybody. I have, boom, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. So this one is like, if you really, really like Mulan, but also wanted it to be queer with actual magic, this is your book. So it's kind of like, well, it says Mulan meets Song of Achilles. There you go. That's like the best descriptors in this. It's a bold, queer, and lyrical reimagining of the rise and founding of the Emperor of the Ming Dynasty. So that's kind of what it is. But they've reimagined it as the leader of the Ming Dynasty was actually a woman. And I don't know, they don't really go into it too much in here, but I would say there's a strong argument to make that this is a trans woman, trans man, I'm sorry, but like she does go with female pronouns in private, but in public usually does male pronouns because she's male presenting. So maybe it's just the pronouns are irrelevant, but there's a strong argument to make that maybe this is a trans person. But definitely it's like there's a lot of magic, there's a lot of like vicious like fights, there's like samurai battles, magic, there's a lot of darkness in this world. It also like there is a queer romance in here that's like a little spicy at times, and I'm like, okay. But it's definitely Mulan meets Song of Achilles. Like if that is your jam, read it. It's dark at times and it's a little slow because it is historical, but it's worth it. Like I think it was really, really good. It's almost poetic, I would say. It's very lyrical in its writing, but even though there's like a lot of gore, still kind of lyrical gore. So definitely it's a good one. Mulan meets Song of Achilles. Great. Love it intensely. Also, magic is in here. There's magic. There's magic. I'm not going to go through it all, but there's some definite magic here. Let's see. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it up to my patrons or something. I'll say, hey, do you guys want to read this one? Evil Hippie School. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of controversy with this. People hate it or love it. I want to try it now. Am I a villain? I am. Yay. A little bit. Okay. Is it like an Atlas 6? The people either love it or hate it, and I did not like Atlas 6. Yay! That's great. I still haven't read it. I want to. I am reading Circe this month, though. That's by Madeline Miller as well, because my patrons picked it for our patron book club. So I will be reading Circe. You guys all wanted me to do Odyssey, not the Iliad. So yeah, I just read the Odyssey for Drunk Classics. That's up already if you haven't seen it. I got very drunk and tried to pronounce things in Greek, and it didn't go well always. But I did read the Odyssey for Drunk Classics, and now I'm going to be reading Circe for book club, patron book club, patron / YouTube members book club. It's for both. And Drunk Classics this month, I'm doing a double feature. I have The Great Gatsby, which my patrons selected for me. And I don't like The Great Gatsby, but I think it's going to be a drunk, salty review, so maybe it'll be great. I don't know. And I'm going to do a double feature with the vampire Lestat, because I did interview the vampire as a Drunk Classics. you got to continue it as a drunk classics. Like, you can't just read the thing. So it's going to get the drunk classics treatment. That's the goals for this month. My TBR is very ambitious. I'm already worried about it. But anyway, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. Those are all of my official Pride picks for this year. Like I said earlier in the video or the beginning, I pick fresh ones every year because I think everyone should read diversely all year long, not just during individual months. So yeah, these are all of my Pride picks I've read since last Pride. So every year I do all of my favorites from the current year. Like, yeah, Pride to Pride, between each Pride. So all of my Pride recommendation videos, I have put out all different books. So I love that. I love that for me because I think a lot of people like pick the same books over and over, but I'm like, no, they're going to be fresh picks every year because there's a lot of them I don't want to recycle. Anyway, I'm going to sign off because I'm scared the TV is going to show up any minute and it's just going to be loud and obnoxious. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and like recommending me Catherine House and among other books. So many books. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out and like talking Pride picks with me. If you have any other particular recommendations for Pride, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely check those out. And yeah, I will see you guys on Monday. This Monday, I'm back with reading sprints. So Monday night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, doing my reading sprints. Come hang out. It's a good time. Wednesday will be my end of May wrap up. Saturday might be another live show. We shall see. Yay. Thank you. People want that. They want the salt. I get it. Thank you, Beth. Thank you for coming. Oh, we got to wait. Angelare. Please. Yay. So yeah, next Saturday, I know I picked a topic and I forget what it is. There was a topic I picked. I forget. I know I do want to do a whole like live show of just about clinch covers. Anyone down for that? Like, I just want to show clinch covers for an hour. That's what I want to do. Leave the trifecta in the comments so we have it forever, so you don't have to watch like the live stream of the live chat. Leave it in the comments. We'll have them forever. Those 3 as well. I have Unbroken and She Who Became the Sun, but I haven't read Jasmine Throne. I haven't read it. I know. I'm ashamed of myself too. Okay, go ahead. Yay! Beth saving the day. I love that you guys all make friends in the comments. It's so cute. I love it so much. Yay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and talking books. And again, I'll be back on Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, doing some reading sprints. Come hang out, get some shit done. That's what we do on Mondays. And I will see you guys just in a couple days. All right, everybody. Bye.